Good morning, sunshine. In the last video, we made biscuits, so let's make one of the best ways to finish those and make some breakfast gravy. I'm gonna get this going on medium-ish while we talk. The base of your breakfast gravy makes the whole difference in how it tastes. So here's the one I'm gonna use. You just need 1 pound of a breakfast sausage, whatever your preference is. I grew up in Ohio, so I always used Bob Evans before. This is a local brand up here for Male Hot's Best. And I found this has a good fat content. That's really what you need. You want a good fatty sausage. I'm not gonna edit it out, but not like that. Breakfast gravy has always been such a good Sunday morning staple. It's not healthy, but it tastes so good. This just needs to brown. How are you? How's your morning? How are you feeling? I hope everything is fantastic. All right, if you're making this with me while this is browning the rest of the way, you want to get the rest of your stuff ready. So you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 cups or more of milk. Whole milk is way better in this situation. Black pepper is the only seasoning to me that is an absolute, you must have it, there is no substitution. And then whatever seasoning you want to finish it off with. So my favorite sausage back home was always this heavily spiced sage sausage. So that's what I'm going to be adding into mine. I'm going to do sage and a little dried basil. It's important to work with whatever flavorings are already in your sausage because breakfast sausage is already going to have its own blend inside. So if you've tasted the one you're using before, you're good to go because you kind of know what it tastes like. You know what you're going to need in there. If you haven't tasted it before, then once this is fully cooked through and safe to eat, I highly suggest you taste a little bit just to make sure you like it. Now I'm moving this around a lot because I want to break it up. So I've got these nice little chunks in here. You can see lots of little pieces. That's what's going to float in our gravy. So we want them really small. This can overcook pretty quickly, so as soon as you start seeing little patches of brown on the outside, we're going to turn our heat down to low. And at this point, I'm going to add our 2 tablespoons of flour. This is going to mix in with all of the fat that's come out, and it's going to make it into a nice paste all over the outside. That flour mixed with the fat is what's going to make the thickener for our gravy. Once that's all mixed in there, I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. At this point, I'm going to bring the heat back up to medium, and I'm going to add my seasonings. I should measure these. You should measure these, but I'm not gonna. If I'm gonna guess, I probably added about 1.5 teaspoons of basil and sage, and I'm gonna put an obnoxious amount of black pepper in here, truly. There's probably a lot of really good, crispy, crunchy, flavorful bits stuck to the bottom of your pan, even if it's a nonstick. So you really want to use this liquid to just get that all scraped off. We're just going to keep stirring this from time to time as it starts to simmer down and thicken. So as you can see, the milk is starting to take on that brown color from the sausage. The sausage is finishing its very last cook all the way through, and it's starting to thicken up. So I'd say at this point, we're about halfway done. Definitely at this point need to watch very closely. It will thicken very quickly. This is how I've always made my gravy. But I will shout out my friend Lainey, who makes the best breakfast gravy that I have ever had in my entire life. She's from Illinois and uses her grandmother's recipe, and it is divine. Lainey, I miss you, and not just for breakfast and Christmas cookies. All right, so here's where I want it. You can see when I'm pulling my spoon through, it leaves that for a good 5 seconds. That's where I want to stop. So I'm gonna go turn off the heat, remove this, and go put it over something tasty. Be right back. I have some of those really adorable heart biscuits, and we're gonna go put some gravy on them. Is this the most unhealthy thing that I eat for breakfast? Potentially. Is it the tastiest? Probably, but I'm gonna go enjoy it. Bye.